Hello and welcome to another review on Anime Everyday. In this video I'll be reviewing the anime series Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan, an anime that was on the tip of everybody's tongues while it was airing, and is still one of the most talked about anime shows. Many loved it, many hated it, but we can all agree that this anime has definitely made its presence known. Welcome to my review of possibly the most controversial, most hated and most loved anime of the last decade. Attack on Titan. Where do I start with the story of Attack on Titan? I guess we start with our main protagonist, Eren. Actually, let's go further back. Attack on Titan is set in a time in which beasts known to the locals as Titans roam the deserted world. Due to this, humans have fled and hidden themselves inside their city. The city is the last hope for the survival of the exhausted humans. This is when we're introduced to Eren. When we first meet him, he's only a young boy and is blind to the distraught and hopeless creatures humans have become. Although Eren might not realise how much humanity has been shattered, the viewer certainly does. They take no shortcuts in showing us the horrific effect that the Titans have left on humanity. Through the first few episodes we watch as Eren becomes an innocent boy to a scared teenager with a death wish for all Titans. Through these episodes the writer do an amazing job of immersing us into the world of Titans. We really get a sense of the fear and despair of humanity. They don't stress enough how hopeless humanity's survival is. The plot progresses at an incredible pace for these first few episodes, and it's probably one of the most immersive starts to an anime I've ever watched. But once the show slows down, it really slows down. And disappointingly, it never matches the pace and awe-inspiring atmosphere that the first few episodes gave us. I think this is where a lot of the hate and negativity towards the show comes from. People were just so impressed and blown away from the first few episodes, then when the show slowed down, people got really annoyed. Of course, everything needs to have a contrast. Every show needs to slow down and let people take in the previous events. But shows need to pick up again and hit us with round 2. Attack on Titan never done that. It tried and tried, but I never felt as emotionally attached as I did in the first few episodes. But they had no excuse. It's not that what they tried wasn't as good as the first episodes, it's that they didn't even try. They ended up spending episodes on pointless plot arcs and developing characters that we just don't care about. In the end, the story was Attack on Titan's biggest downfall. So much untouched potential, so many unanswered questions. So many aspects of the world were ignored and replaced with useless character development that will sell more merchandise but pulls down the quality of the show so much. I understand that they didn't want to give too much away in the anime and leave the rest to the manga, but they could have at least given us something of equal value to replace it. Way too many things were left untouched for me to give the story any critical praise. Production IG were the studio behind the animation of Attack on Titan, and they've done an amazing job. They really gave Attack on Titan a unique art style that would set it aside from other anime shows. More and more these days we're seeing 3D animation being used a lot in anime, and a lot of the time it looks out of place and stupid. But the use of 3D animation in Attack on Titan was done great. It blended nicely with the rest of the animation and pushed the action scenes leagues ahead of most recent anime shows. The backgrounds were also miles ahead of current anime. They really put how gigantic the story was in perspective. This really gave them a great opportunity to showcase how destructive and powerful the Titans were, leading to some extraordinary fight scenes inside the city walls. The animation perfectly exhibits the passion and drive humanity have to kill the Titans and protect their city. Much like the story, when the animation was good, it was great. But when the show slowed down and started to lose sight of its goals, the animation lost its opportunities to shine. We ended up getting episodes with very little outstanding art and even still frames in a lot of the episodes. Despite these flaws, the animation still shines through in the breathtaking action scenes. I've seen very little anime even come close to matching the scenes where Eren and his teammates would soar through the city streets in a desperate attempt to stop the desolation of the Titans. These scenes were visually stunning and choreographed to an immense standard. Overall, the animation was pulled off very well. For the most part, it was high quality, high paced and beautiful to look at. Composed by Hiroyuki Sawano, the powerful soundtrack for Attack on Titan could be the show's best attribute. Its energetic aura made the action scenes even more moving, immersing you even more into the extraordinary battles between humanity and the Titans. The soundtrack consists of track after track of uplifting epic scores, where you can almost visualize the battles happening in your head while you're listening to it. They used huge orchestral pieces combined with exhilarating choir vocals to create a truly marvellous soundtrack. My only complaint is that it does get a bit repetitive after a while. Each track is very similar, but that doesn't matter as much when you have a soundtrack of this quality. And of course we can't forget about the insanely popular openings and ending, each one reflecting the show's epic themes perfectly. I know everyone who watched Attack on Titan couldn't help singing along as soon as the opening started. The music for Attack on Titan was done wonderfully and was one of my favourite components of the show. There's not much I can say about the characters of Attack on Titan. Most of the characters don't develop at all. Your main character is your cliche shonen protagonist, and other characters are just completely pointless. The cast was way too big and it seemed that the writers couldn't handle what they were given. Most of the characters seemed to just be there for the sake of being there, and the majority of the characters contributed nothing to the story. There was no emotional attachment to any of the characters, as they seemed to kill off every character that even tried to be relevant. Without having to focus much on the extra characters, you would think that the main characters would be focused on and good instead. Eren, Mikasa and Armin were the three main characters. They take up most of the screen time and they are the ones that the show revolves around. Like I said, Eren is your stereotypical helpless shonen character, making it impossible to engage with him. Every time he's in a bad situation, Mikasa ends up coming in to save the day. Mikasa cares about Eren more than herself, making it impossible to engage with her as well as she doesn't even have her own personality. Armin on the other hand does have a personality. The personality of a useless 3-year-old. Armin contributes nothing to the story, and although the writers try to make him relevant, everything he does just ends in him scared, frozen or crying. Attack on Titan really let us down in the character department. The characters didn't even come close to how well built up and presented the world in which they lived in was. The characters ended up being completely underwhelming and irrelevant to the greater story. On paper, Attack on Titan should be an awesome show, but unfortunately the execution was poor, and only got even more poor as the show went on. Although I would recommend anyone to watch this show. It's accessible for everyone, the characters and story are simple enough for anyone to enjoy, and you'll probably enjoy it regardless of your tastes. But do be aware that this show won't exceed your expectations. You'll enjoy it and be able to appreciate the above average animation, but it won't by any means blow you away. Just take this show with a grain of salt and enjoy the nice animation. Thanks for watching my review guys. If you enjoyed my review and would like to help me out, then you can click the like button and or the share button. And if you want to watch any more of my reviews, you can click the subscribe button and any of the links on the screen. Thank you very much guys, and goodbye.